make sure I complete by the top of the hour. All right, everybody. Well, if you are here, congrats. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay and apologies for the hiccup in the Zoom link. I know we had a lot of people that wanted to come on this live with us. So don't worry, I will send you guys some extra goodies after the event is over so you guys have it. Now, there's a couple different things that we are going to be sending you guys as thank yous for coming into this. One of them is a complimentary LinkedIn profile audit. So, if you guys have watched any of my audit calls when we're going through people's LinkedIn profiles, they're pretty disruptive. I show you a lot of things that nobody else is showing people how to do in the marketplace, so that you guys can actually do the attraction marketing that LinkedIn is really setting you up for success to do. So a quick profile, and there's the link for those of you that are here live. Go ahead and set up your call. You're going to be really amazed. And if you're wondering how well they go, there's a couple of people who have had them the last day, where they went and left us some feedback in the recommendations portion of my LinkedIn profile. So that's always really good to see, and you guys can see just how quickly we can turn things around for your LinkedIn profiles. So definitely grab a spot on the calendar while there's still some times left. I know this is something that was more popular than what I had anticipated. I didn't anticipate to have so many people come in and want them and need them. But of course, happy to be a gracious host and extend that to this group of people because that it was really intended for you guys. Um, so go get your spots. There should be enough open for everybody who watches this. So if they all want one, then they can have one. Um, okay. So the next thing that is going to be really great for you guys is some of the things that I am going to be teaching you. So and I'll get to those and I'll drop the link for those, but I do have a profile changes framework. So I'll grab the link for that. You guys can grab those. And we have a couple more that are really great too. So again, we're just going to drop that one in for you. And then I'm going to get started because I think that you guys could really, um, won't be back till, okay. No, it doesn't. It only goes out a couple weeks. So I tell you what, Haven, why don't you go ahead and why don't you just give me some times in November, some dates and times, and then I will go ahead and I will manually put you into the calendar. And if you want, you can actually email me those here. So that way I'm not open. I would love to open up my calendar, but I'm afraid to. If I do that, then I'm probably gonna fill, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the extra time, but I will for you. So go ahead and email me some dates and times when you're back in town that you have available for yourself. So for those of you that just came in, you guys can get a complimentary LinkedIn profile audit from me. So that's one of the gifts. That's a thank you. I'm also giving you guys a PDF, which is my 5 LinkedIn profile framework. So just as a thank you for bearing with us, I know we had a couple hiccups going on today. So anywho, we're gonna go through this. You guys are gonna get all the information that you're meant to get today, and I'm really excited for you guys to learn what we've been doing to sell high ticket on LinkedIn. So, and just out of curiosity, are you guys active? So tell me how active you are on LinkedIn. Just you're on it every day. You haven't been on it in a while. You're on it every couple days. It's always good to know where you're at with your LinkedIn journey too. So, if you guys wouldn't mind even just sharing in the chat, that always is super helpful. I know in the past, I've had people who like, I haven't been on LinkedIn, but I'm jumping back in. I'm on it every day, but I haven't been posting. That's a really good one. Yeah, I can totally understand that one. Um, and so that's usually what's happening is that a lot of people are active on LinkedIn. They may not be active in posting. They may be active in the DMs. They may be actively reading material. I ought to be more active. Yep. I have too many things to talk about, and some of those things are covered by more influential people. So, and I'm trying not to go into a coaching session, but I am just going to say that doesn't matter. So, what you have to say and what you have to cover is so important, and the people that are meant to hear it from you need to hear it from you. So, don't stop yourself. from talking about the things that need to be talked about, even if there are people who are like the Tony Robbins and the influencers on LinkedIn or other platforms. Nobody says it the way that you say it. So I do want to just encourage you to keep moving forward and to post regardless of if people are covering the same topics, because again, it's you that makes it special. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead. So 2250K months using LinkedIn. And yes, our clients are doing this. So quick housekeeping. This is going to be a little less than 60 seconds because we're going to move forward a little quickly. Got a little bit of a late start. I actually like to keep these around 30 minutes if possible. That way we leave Q&A at the end. So guys, I'm not gonna offer you a course, a cheap trinket, or a sales pitch at the end. You guys have got what I was going to offer anyway, which is that complimentary LinkedIn audit call. So that way you guys get to see what the power of LinkedIn can be for you and just how we can support you. So you always are going to get an invitation to further connect with me, of course. If you do like the strategies, you can jump on that call with us. So the agenda introduction, why we're here, what's changed online for high ticket sales, where do you go from here? I'm going to talk about those three tactics. So, tactic one, creating your own ATM machine on LinkedIn. That's right. Ching, it can be an ATM machine. You just have to make sure that you have set it up to be that for yourself. Um, Tactic number two is build up hype and community on LinkedIn. That's really important by utilizing the power of LinkedIn audio events. So, if you guys haven't started running audio events, I highly recommend that you do that. Um, One of my clients just started running audio events. She doesn't have a huge following, but she has a really great topic. So she's talking about how to create a title for a TEDx talk, right? And so she just decided to do an audio event with me, encouraging her, like, yes, do one. And she had 25 people sign up within the first day. And that's with a very small following. So the power of audio events, there's a couple reasons, and we'll go into why you want to do those and how those are helping our clients get 20 to 50K per month. And the thing is that it's the LinkedIn audio events and it's the follow-up system that we have with that. So, and then we're going to do conclusions and the next steps that you guys already know the next steps, which is that you guys can book a LinkedIn audit call with me. So here's a little bit about us. Hi, I'm Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark. I'm the CEO and Chief Digital Disruptor of Influence Builder, and I've been in digital marketing for 15 years. So my area of genius is online growth strategies, and I build micro to mega influencer platforms. If you have a social following, then congratulations, you are a influencer. Some of us are nano, some of us are micro, some of us are big time mega influencers, right? I'm also really great at online sales, simplifying that, and we do some really amazing things with scaling businesses. So, growing a business and scaling a business are completely different. Scaling, you got to have your systems, and that's when I talk about that cha-ching ATM machine, because your funnels and your business run like a machine. And so that's always a good indicator of scaling. Um, we have worked with individuals and startups all the way up to businesses raking in the billions. So, all needing support in digital and multiple industries. And I just want to say this, guys, like you wouldn't believe the ones out there that are needing digital marketing. So, in fact, my experience has been the solopreneurs, the entrepreneurs seem to know more about digital marketing than even the big corporations do. It's really amazing. It's like and I think it's because we get it. We know we have to work a little bit harder because we are small and we are trying to stand out amongst all the noise and the big brands who have all this money to spend and throw at marketing. So we've gotten smart. So I've hosted and produced in-person events and hosted and produced. I mean, it says dozens, but I'm going to say hundreds of online events. I mean, we're almost at 400 online events that we have either produced for people or hosted ourselves, or even co-hosted or hosted for our clients. So, I mean, we do 2 or 3 events a week. That's just what we're doing. So I've worked and spoken for large companies like Staples, Dell Technologies, and Liberty Mutual. And here are some of the brands that we have worked with. We've got more to add. Um, that was just the first round. So you guys can see some familiar faces there, maybe not so familiar, but all really amazing companies. So, but let's talk about sales. So we're talking about $1,000 to $50,000 per month in sales. And, here's the thing that they don't tell you when you go into entrepreneurship is that sales can be really, really tricky. Yeah, they can be. How many of you guys how many of you guys are feeling like, online sales is not quite what they told me it was gonna be? And just you guys can just give me a thumbs up or like, I like this GIF and this is all about when one of your friends tells you working in sales must be so easy. And we all work in sales. That's the funny thing is that even the friends that say that, they're always selling too. They're always selling themselves in some way. We are selling ourselves and we are in sales every stinking day. So it's imperative that we are good at it, but not just that we're good at it, that we feel aligned with how we are selling. So, and a lot of people are asking me, okay, I'm in sales, but why high ticket in the online space? Why is that a staple? Because I do say it's a staple. And high ticket selling offers you more bang for your time, right? People say bang for your buck, but really, when you sell high ticket, it's like it's a gift of time back for you, because you're not getting paid hourly. And really, how can you put in all of that expertise in an hour and what that's worth to people? You're getting paid for that value instead, and bringing what you bring to the table with that value. So this is why high ticket matters. A lot of times people are still charging hourly, even though the value is worth 4, 10, 20 times that and what they're getting paid for hourly. So, what are the downsides? Yes, we have downsides, and I'm going to be real with you guys. The downside is selling high ticket. Your ideal clients have to have a big pain point that is costing them one or all of the following things below: money, time, and their sanity, and or their sanity. So, this is sometimes hard to discover when we're trying to create a high ticket, and really just kind of takes a little bit of digging. I've had conversations with people like, yeah, but what I offer is intangible. And so, by intangible, like there's no way of calculating an ROI to it. And I get that. And this is there's ways that we can play with that too, because a lot of times it's just looking at everything from a different angle, which is marketing in general, right? But yeah, they have to have a big pain point, and your and it could be the wrong ideal client. You may need to shift that piece of it too, in order to sell that high ticket. But that's okay. It all shifts and works together. You have to solve that big problem too. You have to be able to solve it. So, one of the big things with high ticket is that you charge your value and you solve, and the bigger the problem, the bigger the solution that you provide, the higher you can charge for it. So it can result in less clients too. High ticket can result in less clients in your portfolio at first, especially if you don't have a wait list of buyers. So let's just say that you usually sell a $500 social media marketing package, and you've decided that, and you just do some basic stuff. Maybe you just work on a couple platforms, right? But your clients keep coming to you for bigger problems. And like, actually, what's really interesting is that I need social media marketing for all of my platforms, and I need to way to reproduce my all my past content. And so you could put together a package where you do an audit. So you do a social media platform audit. What are the things that they need on their platform that's going to help them monetize? Because the problem is that social media is not getting them any clients. So you can monetize that. You can put a package together um, that can pull in all of their social media and repurpose it. And then you can also add on that package that you can still have the monthly maintenance fee of social media or adding more content. And you could even throw in a coaching package with that. If like, do you need coaching on how to utilize video in your social media platforms and the best ways to do that here in 2022 into 2023? So you guys can see how I'm solving a big pain point, and then you can guess that $500 package that that person could be charging is actually more like a 5K per month package. So because it's a big job. It's a big job, but you're the expert in it. If you're the expert that's in that social media marketing plan, then you already know how much time and how much effort your team's going to put in, or how much you're going to put in, and what that's going to end up producing for them for results, and also how much time you're putting in yourself, and how it's going to actually pay you out much more. So yes, it can result in less clients at first, if you don't have a wait list. But here's the thing: is that with a higher ticket, you're actually going to be working less as well and getting paid more too. The other thing with high ticket is that it's easy to get stuck as the face of the brand and the stopper of growth. So I talk to this with a lot of my coaches and consultants and managers, like social media managers, where they are really trying to create these higher tickets, and they're the ones that get stuck as the face, even though they're trying to build their brand, or they're trying to build their agency. So it is easy to get stuck when you're selling high ticket as as the go-to person, even if you have a team backing you up. So lots of examples on that, but I did want to present to you guys like the downsell, or not the downside, not the downsell, but the downside of selling high ticket. And guess what? The best part of the downside is that there's solutions to all of that. There's always a solution to everything. Okay, and here's the thing. Here's the other thing, guys. Selling high ticket, it's hard if you're not used to selling high ticket. Going from a 500K package to a $5,000 dollar package, that's a little bit of a mind blow, right? You're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? Or how do I have the confidence for that? Um, so, like, here's the thing, especially if you're trying to sell this on the wrong social media platform. So, long story short, you've got to go where your high ticket buyers are. So, I do want to say that there's a lot of reasons why selling high ticket is hard. One of them is the mindset shift that has to happen, but also, not all your social media platforms are primed for high ticket buyers. So you got to go where those high ticket buyers are. When you guys can kind of see where this is going, right? Oh, yes. Oh, this is so hard, right? Um, okay. But here's the thing, LinkedIn is the place to be for high ticket sales. It just is. Um, that's where you're going to go from here. And this is why you guys are here, because I'm telling you how to sell high ticket on LinkedIn. So it is a great place for high ticket, because here's just a couple bullet points that are my favorites. 65 million decision makers are on LinkedIn right now. 2020, these are all 2022 stats. The 2023 stats haven't come out yet. As soon as they do, guess what? I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be on it. And I will let everybody know, and I will update the slide. Um but that's the thing, 65 million decision makers. So half of those decision makers use LinkedIn to vet companies and brands and agencies and individuals and their services, right? Half of those decision makers. So we've got 35 million decision makers, and then we have 32.5 million that are vetting you on LinkedIn. That's crazy, right? Um, you have on average 7 to 8 minutes to impress. Now, with websites, and I have said this before, and it is true even for your profiles, you've got to make a good impression within the first few seconds. They have to want to stay on, but once they stay on, they stay on your profile for a while. So you've got to make sure that you have enough on your profile in order for them to, dig through for 7 to 8 minutes. Which is, again, guys, this is why I'm offering you guys the audit. I can help with that. 7 to 8 minutes though. So what is on that profile? You got to make it good. It's got to be good, and it's got to actually be telling them that you understand what their pain points are, and that you have the solution that's going to help them through it. So long story short, that's what you guys are trying to do with your profile. Um, More than 50% of the platform users have a higher degree on LinkedIn. More than 50%. And then more than 50% of the users have a yearly salary base, just a base, guys, of 75K. That's not even a household. That's just the base of the people. Sounds pretty good, right? Doesn't LinkedIn sound pretty good to you guys right now? I know a lot of people are like, huh, I mean, I didn't know that, or I did know that, and I hadn't thought of it like that, but it does sound pretty good, right? Okay, so here's the dark side of LinkedIn. With great power comes great responsibility. You guys see how I like to play with the light and the dark? I'm going to give you the positives. I'm going to give you the negatives, because that's just the best way for you guys to make a decision. Um, and here is a quote from a Facebook connection when I asked something silly. Apparently, it was a bro marketing group. I'll admit it. I go into them sometimes. It's not that I like to pick up on their habits, but I do like to connect with them and show them new ways. And this was the occasion where I went to a particular bro marketing Facebook group, and it wasn't 2 years ago, but it's somewhere between a year and 2 years ago. This is what was told to me when I said, "Hey, who's on LinkedIn and who wants to connect on LinkedIn?" And somebody commented saying, "LinkedIn is a dumpster fire, people talking to themselves in other people's DMs." Whew. All right. I laughed. I thought that was really funny. And it's funny because it is kind of true. It is kind of true. There are a lot of people that are trying to DM their way to success using LinkedIn. Now, can you? You absolutely can. It takes some it takes some knowing though. You've got to know how to talk to people in the DMs. So just, just so you guys know, I like to Pollyanna my way through this stuff. And so I actually took that guy's quote and I took this gift right here and I turned it into a wonderful Facebook ad for a LinkedIn event that I was running, a webinar I was running, and man, did it convert really well because people related to it. So just a little marketing tactic for you there, but always turn that feedback into a positive. If it's a negative feedback, turn it into a positive, and that's how I did it. So it was a really good ad too. So here's the deal right now with LinkedIn, guys. Everyone is coming to the platform to escape the other platforms. It just seems like all the professionals are like, enough with this Facebook and TikTok. I'm coming over here. Um, Here's the other thing is that people don't understand how to use LinkedIn. So even LinkedIn doesn't know what LinkedIn has. So how can they actually teach us how to use it effectively? They can teach us some things, but they can't teach us all the things. So people still don't know how to they don't really understand how to use it. And this is the other thing. LinkedIn's got some big plans. They've got some big plans because they're making changes on the daily. They really are. I mean, I don't know if you guys may not notice them, but there's little things because I'm in every little corner there and cranny on LinkedIn almost every single day. And so I'm noticing things and I'm like, wow, they just changed that. Oh, they just changed that. They changed that too. Oh my goodness. I just saw it the other way yesterday. And so they are trying to grow and scale LinkedIn. And of course, since COVID, I think a lot of these social media platforms are. But this is the real deal is that they're making changes. And guess what happens when they make changes? Everything can be a little wonky and hard to keep up with. There are new limitations on using the platform that weren't there even a year ago. So I don't know if you guys know, but you can only send 100 connection requests per day with LinkedIn. For those of us that were trying to grow really, really quickly on LinkedIn, this has been a downer, right? It's been a downer because you have to slow down how you're connecting with people because the way it used to work is that you could send 100 connection requests at any given time, and then when 10% of the people of that 100 accepted that, and it could be within minutes after sending them, um, then you could send another 100 and so on and so on. And let's just say that 10% didn't go ahead and accept from that first 100. Was the limit not lifted for a week? No, it was actually lifted the next day. And you could send another 100 the next day. So it's a big difference going from several hundred connection requests put out there any given week to only 100. So the other thing that's happening is that LinkedIn is cracking down on the misuse. Yes, everyone thinks it's a dumpster fire. So one of the things that got us a slap on the wrist was to go down to the 100 connection requests per week. People are getting really sick of the DMing. They're really getting sick of the DMs. I mean, I don't have a day that goes by where I don't get pitched in the DMs from a new connection. And there's lots of ways to maneuver around that, but people are getting pretty sick of having to maneuver around it. And I wish I could say that I only get one sales pitch per day, but we're talking more like 20 to 50, depending on the day. It may seem like I'm over exaggerating, but then you see how large our following is, and you can see why. But 20 is a lot. 20 is a lot. There's a percentage of people on LinkedIn that also still see the platform as a professional platform. So you've got a lot of call out culture stuff going on, and just like this isn't how LinkedIn's used. And I mean, I get why they say it. I think there's more productive ways, but that's just me to tell people and to educate people. But there's a lot of people that are looking at LinkedIn as the professional platform and they don't want it to be like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, even though, funny enough, some of the ways that we are doing Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok with that short form video, the algorithms on LinkedIn are picking up on and they love it. So I will say, as much as people are saying it's a professional platform, you know what? That's not actually LinkedIn's opinion. LinkedIn is just like the rest of the platforms where it is. The algorithm does favor popularity, right? So popularity. So it's really more about your messaging, who you're following, the community that you're building, and the content and as it resonates with those people. That's more important because that's the popularity contest. So people can say what they want, numbers don't lie. So LinkedIn, again, doesn't even know what LinkedIn has going on, which is really cool. And this leads me into the tactics, guys. So, and just looking at the time, being mindful that we're doing pretty good. So where do we go from here with LinkedIn and selling into our high ticket program? So we're going to go into those tactics. I've got three for you. We have to get smarter on LinkedIn. We just do. And it can be easy peasy lemon squeezy. It can be. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. We're the ones that make it complicated. Human beings tend to like to make simple strategies and tactics very complicated because it can't possibly be that easy to make 20K to 50K. But I'm going to give you guys the tactics. So, three tactics for high ticket selling on LinkedIn. First one, creating your own ATM machine on LinkedIn. I'm going to tell you how we do that. Tactic two, building that hyping community. And we're going to talk about LinkedIn audio events and how imperative they are to your marketing strategies. And tactic three, follow up using a system that works and produces results. So you have to follow up. You have to, and I'll explain more on that later. So, tactic number one, your personal ATM machine. That's LinkedIn, right? So, how do we do that? Well, we do that with targeted lead generation. So, targeted lead generation, this is something that you can do on LinkedIn and it's free. Like everywhere else, you got to pay for it. So, like Google advertising, Facebook advertising, I mean, even TikTok advertising to get targeted on who it is that you want to be in front of. You got to pay for that. LinkedIn, you don't. So you can actually do filters and targeting on a free version of LinkedIn. Now you can upgrade. I myself use Premium and Sales Navigator, and it's around $90 a month for the Sales Navigator. But what you're able to do with your filters and your targeting is amazing. So why do you want the targeted lead generation? Well, first and foremost, you got to do that research, right? And you got to find common interests. But the idea with the targeted lead generation is so that you are getting in front of your buyers. So that's what I'm going to move into next. So do your research, guys. Find the common interest. Discover the groups that target lead generation is in. Discover the influencers they follow. Use Sales Navigator. Reach out to your weekly limits and connect. So let's just say that you don't have the hacks that we do, but you have those 100 connects per week. You've got to go ahead and send them, right? You've got to send them. Sales Navigator can help you get even more targeted. So discovering influencers and finding that commonality can also be a really great way to target these guys in lead generation. You can also target leads based on the groups that they are in. And of course, when you go and look at people's profiles, you can see what common interests that you both share. So that is tactic number one. So tactic number two is build your community and the like, no trust factor. And here's the thing, the hottest event platform today is LinkedIn audio events, right? Like, oh, is it really? I'm like, well, okay, I may be exaggerating because I don't have any numbers to back it up, but it is hot right now, and LinkedIn is pushing it. They are really pushing it. The algorithm is pushing it. And so you do have a really good chance of getting seen by your connections and your following on LinkedIn when you put out an event, an audio event like this, even more so than their live stream. So, I definitely want to tell you guys a little bit about these LinkedIn audio events because this has been a big solution for my clients. And LinkedIn audio events actually came out, just in April. And so like I'm an influencer, but I'm not a mega influencer like Gary Vee. I'm getting up there. But Gary Vee got to try it out first. I know I'm a little jelly on that one. But he did. He got to try it out first in April. The rest of us have been getting it trickled out to them since July. And so I started in August. And so we've been running audio events and we've had some colleagues running audio events. They're all doing really, really well. So you can see some of the numbers here. And we do have a couple different strategies that we use, but audio events have been really amazing for building that like no trust factor in that community build. And when we have that, then we're attracting in like-minded people. We're attracting in people and creating more of a conversation rather than just a we're teaching and talking at you kind of what I'm doing here. But I do like to include you guys and I'll ask questions. But LinkedIn audio events are even better at that. So, have any of you guys run an audio event yet? Put a yes or no. Just curious. Let me see. No, not yet. No, not yet. Okay. Awesome. So, not yet. Good. highly, highly recommend that you guys do it because it has been amazing. And here's why: it's new and it's interactive. LinkedIn is pushing it, and the algorithm is in your favor. So the algorithm is in your favor when it comes to these audio events. You can tell this is their next big thing. They want to be big with audio events. It gets people talking to you in the DM. So here's one of the cool things about LinkedIn audio events is that it's like Clubhouse. So you have your speaker. So if you're running the event and you're a speaker, you can also invite speakers in and they can join as a speaker, and then everybody else is in listening mode, but you can, and so it's set up very much like Clubhouse is, but with like a pop up on LinkedIn. So one of those lower boxes with the chat, it kind of pops up and you've got the two at the top or the one at the top, and then you've got everybody who's joining underneath. And so they can raise their hand and they can be brought up to the main platform and speak. So it's very, very interesting how that works. Now, here's the other thing is that they are digesting audio events like they are podcasts. So they're listening in to live and they love it. However, not all of them can speak and can ask questions. So I always like to make sure that when I'm running an audio event, I say, hey, if anybody has any questions and you can't unmute and ask your question because of where you are, just go ahead and DM me. And I've that tactics worked really well. I've had people have discussions with me in the DMs, even if I'm hosting a speaker. The other thing is that I will tell people, my chances are you're going to get a DM with a special PDF. So check your DMs for me, guys. And here's the funny thing: some of you guys are on this, and I have messaged you in the DMs and you didn't check it or you didn't respond. So you guys may have a couple of little presents in there, for from me. So just check it out. And so what that does is it actually gets people to go into the DM. I've even had one person's like, "Oh, I was one of those people you were talking about. That's so funny. Let me go ahead and respond to these messages. I'm really sorry. I just never check my DMs." So it does get people talking in the DMs. It helps you stand out amongst the crowd too. So when you do a LinkedIn audio event well, it helps you to stand out amongst everybody else who's doing like live stream or not doing any kind of event on LinkedIn. So you're standing out amongst your competition, which I always find really, really interesting, when it comes to social media, the very subtle ways that we can stand out. So tactic number three is the 20K to 50K months and the follow-up system. So I'm gonna just give it to you guys. One follow-up system to rule them all. One follow-up system, kind of like one ring to rule them all. So here's the thing: most people give up on their sales after the third touch point. And when I say touch point, it's just a back and forth conversation. And even if that conversation is like that person who gave me that funny response on LinkedIn, it's just people in the DMs talking to themselves, right? Even if that does seem to be a one sided conversation, you still want to have more than just a couple of touch points, more of a couple of follow ups. Just keep trying. And your touch points don't even have to necessarily be in the DM. You can have touch points on their post. You can have touch points on their website. You can have touch points on anything that they share, any events they're running. It all counts. It all counts. So, but don't give up after three. It actually takes 8 to 12 steps for most buyers after an event. So we do have 8 steps. And we kind of have them during the event and after the event, but on the event, guys. So if you haven't run them, just know that it's very much like Clubhouse, and LinkedIn does not have a recording feature right now, right? So if you can go ahead and like open up Zoom and do an advanced share, excuse me, when you are an advanced share on Zoom where you are actually, um, just one second, guys, I'm just trying to picture this so I can explain it better. Advanced search on Zoom where you can actually share the audio. That's how you want to go ahead and record. So you're gonna go to advanced when you go to share the screen on Zoom, and hit record or share the audio, and that will pick up the audio in the event. So you can put your video out on, you can pause it so it just shows your picture if you want. You can have your logo up there, but that's how you want to go ahead and record that. for later on. And the reason why is because you want to replay. So anybody who comes into the LinkedIn audio event, and the funny thing is that because LinkedIn is pushing it out so much, a lot of people are just popping in because it pops up in their notification. So if they're hanging out on LinkedIn doing their thing and it pops up that you are having an event, it does. It's a push notification. They may come in, and if they came in and stayed for any length of time, it automatically registers them. So you could actually send them the replay because you know who it is. You can send it through the DM. Here's the other thing I like to do, guys, is I like to create 3 action steps for people to list to that for them to do as they listen to the replay. So you guys are going to have action steps from me getting sent out. It's what I like to do. So I'm going to give you guys some things to do. Um, and it's just really important for you guys to take this information and to run with it. So I like to go ahead and create those 3 action steps and send them the replay because they listened. So you want to then follow up with a DM, maybe a day later, to see if they were able to watch the replay. I mean, I had another one of these live live webinars where people were so they weren't able to come, or they were able to come for part of it, and we sent them the event recording, and we've been following up with them, and some of them are a week or two later just watching the recording now. So it's really important that we give people the chance to follow and the chance to watch the replays, and then we follow up and see. We get them when they're excited too. So a day after, I usually like to see if they've watched the replay, and if I don't hear back from them, I may send another reminder. But even 2 days later, you can see if they've gotten any results from those action steps. So really, you're kind of coaching people along the way too. So 2 days later, after it's actually 3 days after the event happened, you want to see if they got some results from the action steps that you gave in that first DM. Um, and then I would DM a day later to see if they wanted to jump on a call to get support for their action steps, right? So let's just say that on that 2 days after the last one, so 3 days after the event, you ask them how if they've gotten any results, and they respond by saying, "Well, I haven't really tried it yet." And so then a day later, it's a really good idea to see if they want some support with those action steps. Even if they didn't respond at all, then you still want to go ahead and send that a day later to see if they need any support. um, 4 day 4 days later, I usually ask for a review on LinkedIn recommendations, although sometimes I'll do it immediately, just depending on the situation. Um, and then you always want to go ahead and send them another message and an invite to your next event as it relates to them. So that's kind of like our sales follow up system, and it works really well, and people feel really taken care of and nurtured, and it builds that like know and trust factor very quickly, and it's just a basic one. I just laid it out for you guys to see how easy it can be, but you can get an Excel together for this, and you can lay out, the dates of when you're sending out the replay, when you're sending out the action steps, when you're sending out messages where seeing if they were able to watch the replay, messages where you see if they've gotten any results, all those things. So broke it right down for you guys. All right, guys. So that's the 3 tactics, and I just want to tell you guys that there's so much potential here on LinkedIn, and so we have a couple case studies to give you guys an idea of what can happen. So this is a speaking platform that also has digital products as well as high ticket products. So this this company had 5,500 connections. They were all very, very, very targeted connections. So I like to be really frank with everybody, is that I know that there's some people who have tens of thousands of connections on LinkedIn. And it's very, very hard to get a hold of everybody within that if you've grown really fast. Now, if you have a number like that with all very targeted people, then you're in really good shape. So, with this particular client, we were able to run one campaign using our LinkedIn systems, and they got 129 sales calls in less than 3 weeks, which was crazy. They were very, very busy. So they were able to sell 5 10K packages, and that all sold within 7 weeks. So kind of goes to show you just like the power of all of this. Another one was a high end consultancy. He had 4,000 connections. Now, his programs and services were high end, long term for projects, and he had multiple team members. So, but he used one of our LinkedIn systems and DM strategies, and he sold a $500,000 contract within 7 weeks, right? Pretty amazing, right? But I didn't think it was really believable to put 20K to 500K on the title. I'm like, and because the other thing is that that's not going to happen every month, so it's not necessarily a monthly one. But he did sell that, which is really amazing, and he signed within 2 weeks of that initial discovery call. So he had a discovery call with that client. That was the package, and they had that contract signed very, very quickly. So that's how quickly things can turn around. Here's the third case study. So this is with a sales coach, group program owner. She used to run webinars for her coaching programs, um, for her group coaching programs. And so the last webinar she ran before she came in and worked with us was very dismal. The show ups were. So I don't know if you guys are running webinars, but when you're running webinars and you do them live, sometimes the show up rates aren't quite what you expect. There's reasons why. It could be a lot of different things, but this particular client was not getting the results she wanted on webinars. So we ran with audio events instead of these webinars, and we used our strategies 2 weeks and 161 show rate on audio events. So we had 161 people show up. And then we've only run two. This is actually pretty recent. We've only run two so far, but there's 14 sales of a 5K package. And this has actually filled the group program and it still has 6 weeks to spare. So I haven't, they haven't, well, we haven't decided. I'll just say we haven't decided if we're going to just keep adding people to the group program or to do another cohort, although I think we probably will do another cohort for the group program, just so that we're staying within integrity of what we said the group program was. But that's really fast, guys. Can you imagine? To have those kind of results with your own high ticket and your own group programs. So if you guys are interested, I do love talking to everybody, and I do like to give out complimentary LinkedIn profile audits. Now, we did cover more than just our profiles on this one, but I did give you guys like the 5 profile pieces to audit PDF, so you guys can have those. If you don't have them and you schedule an audit call, then just ask me and I'll send you the link. But that will definitely get you guys going in the right direction. That profile has to be working for you, right? But we do have other things too. We can help. We can definitely help. We are launching a new product line specific to LinkedIn. I mean, all social media is our jam, but LinkedIn, there's something really special about this platform. It is our favorite, and it is definitely my favorite because I can see the power of it and how quickly people can sell high ticket. So just decide what you may need most, and you guys can always email me. My email is in the messaging session over here, so you can grab that and just ask me about these services if you want to have a chat about those as well. But we help with lead generation, so whereas most people can only do that 100 connection requests per week, we do more like 700, 800. And yes, we have built in systems to help us do that. So we have a group program with that and a full agency done for you service with lead generation. We help with high ticket sales. So we have a group program and a full agency done for you service if you want someone to do your high ticket sales or in the DMs. Like, of course, you guys got to complete that sales process and get on the sales call, but we can bring people to you that are perfectly aligned for your programs and do that. We also do the profile reviews. Now we do the 15-minute clarity call and discovery call, as well as the audit, but it's robust. So you may need some help, and we do done for you offerings with that as well. And I do a couple of little smaller programs with the done for you. If you need all the above, me and my team can help. We can customize hybrid packages. So um, again, let me just go back. I wonder if I can. No, that link is not ready. It's not live. Don't go to that link, guys. Don't go to that one yet. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Q&A. You put the link you shared in the chat. Yes, I can. Do you guys have any questions about LinkedIn right now? You guys have any questions? You can come on up and talk to me about that. I'm going to go find that link and put it up for you. Oh, there it is here. I got two links. I'll put them right at the top. So this is the audit. So you can schedule an audit. Go in soon because I put this out there to, and I've done, this is my third, I want to say this is my third LinkedIn webinar masterclass in the last week and a half. And so I didn't expect that many people on these live webinars, and I didn't expect so many people to be signing up for the audit. So I do like to recommend everybody go get your audit. And Haven, I know that you are out of town, so you can email me and we'll set you up. But definitely go and get them. Do you guys have any quick questions? We still got a couple minutes before I have to jump on my next call. Happy to answer them.
How often would you say posting to LinkedIn? What do you think the best practice is for that?
Oh gosh, there's so many people that say so many different things. So here's been my observation: quality over quantity, right? Quality over quantity when it comes to your posting. So it's better to have a quality post than a bunch of not quality posts over and over and over again. So, and your posting depends on your ideal client and what they like to digest for information, right? So, right now I am seeing that the short videos are working really great because it's easy to digest, it's quick to digest. Video is still a really great way to do that. And so with that kind of quality content that's short and sweet, you could do that every day and get some good results. So, but the other thing is that you also, it's better to be consistent than it is to overdo it. So some people will say do 4 to 5 postings a day and people are going to start gravitating towards you. And done that, been there, done that. It's not true. And we've got the metrics to prove it, because it's not just about the quantity, it's about the quality. And sometimes one post that is easy to digest and is exactly what your ideal clients want, that can end up getting the clients over to you and DMing you. But there's a lot of things that you can do besides posting. So here's the thing: consistent. So if you can only post once a day, post once a day. That's really good. If you can only post 3 times a week, post 3 times a week. So you have to be consistent though. So that's my suggestion first and foremost: consistency. The second suggestion is everything you put out there, make it quality and make it geared towards your ideal client, what it is that they need to hear. And it needs to be top of mind things for them. That is definitely quality content. I hope that helps answer that. But I would say at minimum, do 3 times a week quality posting. If you can do every day, that's really good too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helps. You guys have any other questions? LinkedIn audio events is a really good way to ask some questions too if you guys want to do one quick one. You're so welcome, Haven. I hope you guys are able to put it to use. I will be sending you guys action steps. So I'll just tell you right now what the action step is. One, go book your call. Book your call, Haven. You're going to email me, so do that first. The second one is that I want you guys to connect with ten ideal clients on LinkedIn today if you can. I want you guys to make a habit of trying to do 10 a day until you hit that 100 connection mark. But just go and spend some time and target these guys, regardless if you have the premium features or a sales navigator. Even with the free version of LinkedIn, you can still use their search filters. Start playing around with those search filters and see who is an ideal client. Now, I do recommend going ahead and connecting first and foremost with your second degree connections. So you guys may be like, what is that? Second degree connections are people that you are not yet connected with that have a mutual connection with you, and a mutual connection, and somebody who's connected to you is a first degree connection. So like I talk about the circles of influence, first degree connections are your core circle of influence, or people you're already connected with and you have some kind of a like no trust factor with them if they accepted that connection. Second circle of influence is the people that your core people know and that you know that you're not connected to yet, but they could bring in. So that's kind of what it is. And third degree is that you're not connected to them and you have no mutual connection. So start with your second degree. You have a better chance of them connecting with you, but try to get 10 in a day or just 10 in this week, 10 targeted connections. So I hope that helps, guys. Do you have one more question? I'll take one more because I got 2 minutes for my next call.
What kind of content would you say works best on those LinkedIn audio events?
So, very solution based short form titles will work. So, what is it that you do? And I could probably give you a couple of ideas.
Well, in my day job, I'm a senior instructional designer.
Mhm.
I'm also a certified confidence coach.
So we'll just use the coaching because that's something I'm really familiar with. But what are one of the big pain points that your clients have?
Big pain point. Hmm.
What does not being confident cause them?
Definitely to lose out on opportunities, as far as, not being able to act like a confident person does,
Yeah.
which can actually negatively affect your opportunities for getting that,
Yeah.
whatever you're going for.
So let me just go ahead and I'm just going to run with it just because we're running short on time. But let's just say that you work with a lot of people in corporate and they want to move over, they want to get a promotion, right? So confidence is
Hmm.
really important in that. So how to confidently ask for your next promotion? That would be a really great that would be a really great audio on that. But you could
Okay.
also make it very relevant to today. Maybe it's a confidence piece and people aren't feeling confident because they just got fired. Maybe they just was a startup that had a huge layoff. I mean, how many startups have had so many huge layoffs lately? So these big tech firms, they've had tons of layoffs. And so you could say how to build back your confidence after getting laid off from your tech company. Wow, how specific is that?
Right.
So you can kind of see how specific I'm getting and how it's really a solution to a bigger pain point. So start with the big pain, and this is like top of mind one, and then offer a solution and then move them into the platform. But those do really well. So one of the ones that we've done really well with, and it's brought in the right people, is Facebook ads versus YouTube ads, which is better for running webinars. It's YouTube ads, by the
Okay.
way.
Thank you.
So those ones. Okay, guys. All right. So we're at the top of the hour. I really appreciate you guys hanging with me. And you guys will get an email with the links as well. But I do want to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys three next steps. And we will be checking on you. We will be checking in. And so you guys can see all of that in action and we will have a replay as well offered to you guys. We just need a couple hours to get it going, okay? All right. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
You're welcome.